it on? Is it? It's on. Yeah. Okay. So first, welcome everyone to the Wastewater Talk. This is our 9th episode, and in this episode, we are going to talk about how is odor formed in our sewers. So I would like to first introduce myself. My name is Siki Tong. I come from China. I started my master in Germany. It's the water resources engineering and management. And now I have been working at Unitechnics for you can say over 1 year now. I'm a project engineer here and also the co-host for the Wastewater Talk. As you know, the Wastewater Talk we started from the last from November last year, and yeah, it's has been here for a long time. And also we also presented some very interesting topics and also learned many interesting from our participants. And I'm looking forward for today's topic and also the knowledge exchange with all of you. Okay, Hagu, would you like to introduce yourself a little?
Thank you, Sigi. Like Sigi, my name is Raghu, and I'm from India, and I was working in this company, Unitechnics, for more than 6 months now. And I'm also a co-host, and I present the same wastewater talk in the evening. So at 15 Central European time, and yeah, so my tasks are mostly like treating the wastewater in the sewers, and then trying to eradicate the corrosion, and by trying some methods which maybe we can discuss now in this topic. And then yeah, I mean, I did my master's on water and wastewater technology in Germany, and then I started working for this company. So yeah, and we started this, like Siki said, from November, and then we are slowly expanding. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Yeah, actually, I have prepared a small presentation, also some questions regarding to the topic today. I first maybe share my screen so that we can learn each other by maybe also looking at these questions. Yeah, Hagu, would you please, I show my screen here so I can't see our participants. Maybe you can like
Sure, I will let them
ask
in.
the participants to introduce a little. Yeah, so I prepared some questions, 3 questions regarding this topic, the odor formation in our sewers. So first is like, it's a very general question. Have you ever noticed unpleasant smells while walking on the streets in the city? So maybe if someone has this experience in the past, maybe you can raise up your hand or just say something. Or yeah, if you also work in this field, like the wastewater or drainage system operators, you could also share some experience with us.
So yes, first, if you want to introduce yourself, it's also fine. You can just introduce here, like you can speak directly to us, or you can just enter in the chat box. And like I said, just a brief description, like where you guys from and what you guys doing, and what interests you in coming into this wastewater talk, and what you want to know, and what you are expecting, something like that. So it's like a brief thing. You can even say it, or like I said, so.
Yes, we just want to get a little close to each other and know a little more about each other so that, yeah, make it a really comfortable environment for all of us. Hagu, you can see the name of our participants. Maybe you can ask for some introduction.
Yes, just a second. So, Patrice.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
hi.
Hi.
I want to say that well, in country like Trinidad, which is the last island in the Caribbean next to Venezuela, we call the manhole that we say the manhole levitates when there is a tropical storms because so the size of the pipes are designed for normal rain and not for extraordinary. So I've seen it in south of France. I've seen it in England. That the dancing manual is very often,
Yeah.
in relation to the flow rate and
Mhm.
the size of the pipe. Unpleasant smell. We all know about the H2S. And well, I've got to declare that I'm proposing right now a new technology to get rid of H2S without chemical, and that we are now in full more than experiment. We've sold 15 equipment in the Caribbean and St. Martin, and we're starting to work in France. And so to get rid of H2S and to get rid of the fatbergs.
Oh, that's really interesting. Maybe later you should explain more about this. I think we would like to hear more about it.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Great.
Now,
Um,
Patrice, can you introduce yourself maybe, like a small, where you work and where you're
right.
from, and like, I mean, for
Okay,
the group,
I'm
so it would be
French.
useful. Okay.
In another life, I had been the Vice President Europe Asia of Instituform. For those in the sewage industry and pipeline rehabilitation, you know what it is. And I am a consultant in some form, but I also started a company a few years ago, BAR, Biotech Action Réseau, which is there it was starting initially to reduce the COD coming from produced water in from oil rigs and to be discharged from the platform. This led to another thing is getting rid of H2S in pipeline with method. At first we tried bacteria, but also mainly is a device which is working with air pressure and eliminating big amount of fat or other things and being so it's interesting. If people want to know more in the future, I can tell them and send them a presentation.
Yeah, I think maybe
Yeah.
we can even ask you to be a guest speaker for the wastewater talk.
We- are you selling a product? That's why I'm cautious, or are you just talking in general?
No, we are
Uh,
just here to gather knowledge and just to see what are the things happening around the world, because we are from Germany. I mean, we are engineers in Germany. We have our own techniques, but we don't know how it's going in the other side of the world. Like once upon a time, it's very hard to communicate and to know how the things going. But now, because of online and all these technologies, we just want to use it and maybe produce the knowledge. I mean, to share the knowledge to
Okay.
everyone around the world.
Because what
So
I think is Yara sells, their product, but it's very expensive and it's a chemical, and that's why we thought that there was got to be another solution. So we work with SULFIDE in Denmark. You probably know them, and Søren and all that. So there is a community. I did not look into Germany, what's going on in Germany yet.
yeah, if you ask if we sell any products, the answer must be yes. That's why we have this company here. Yeah, but the goal of this wastewater talk is like it's more general. We don't want to make it too like advertisement or something. We kind of make it just a platform for anyone who has the technology or anyone who has the knowledge to share about it. It's also, yeah, the reason why we started is also because we, like Hagu said, we only have the knowledge in Germany. We know how to deal with these problems in Germany, but outside of Germany, there must be other technologies, other methods people use to deal with all these problems. So we would like to learn something new and
Good.
also
And where
share
are you
these
based
things.
in Germany?
The headquarters is in North Germany, Schwerin, but we also have the offices all around in Germany, like different, all these kind of big cities will have the offices and engineers.
Okay. Good. And I'll be ready to talk another time and to share, because we don't have one size fits all, and
Mhm.
always happy to know more. I discovered product in the States. I work with people in South Africa, and that's because at first our idea was to go in countries not as developed in sewage as Germany.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You are the number one for sewage over the years, and
See, we didn't know that till now. I mean, this is one of the reasons, but we we don't know that we are the number one in sewers, as you said. I mean, because it's that's what this talk is about, like to know.
Bavaria doesn't
Yeah,
always do it like Hamburg, okay? Or Berliner Wasserbetriebe. And
yeah, yeah. I'm from Berlin, so I live in Berlin. So yeah, but we never realized that we are having a nice technology. We always think that maybe there's something more that we can do, and
yeah,
Yeah, we
go
don't want
ahead.
to be
'Cause
too
I worked
arrogant.
with Berliner Wasserbetriebe. I was Veolia for 14 years. And when they got in there, we always were a log ahead because, which technology and how to do it. But I'd worked in England mostly more than in France. And so England was also at the forefront.
so this is Klaus, and he's a co-presenter for this wastewater talk. Klaus, can you introduce yourself to the group?
Yeah, hello. This is Klaus. I'm yeah, salesperson and also boss of Unitechnics, and always interested in getting to know new people outside of Germany. And we are doing this wastewater talk to get to know you guys and what you think about all the issues that are important to us in Germany and how it is in maybe other countries. So I'm looking forward to our discussion. And I prepared a little bit to discuss an interactive thing today, how Odor is created a little bit.
Yes, we are just starting by with some questions, actually. Like you see on the screen, we want to just ask our participants, like, if which country are they from, and did they notice anything like sewers with dancing manholes because of the gas and all the external, internal things, which like corrosions and everything happening. Like, if they are normal citizens and they find it so stinky, and does they do anything to do about it, or what do they think about this topic? So, yeah. So I can just say the small process in Germany, because in the company in which I'm working here, I'm like the responsible person, one of the responsible person in the team, who need to maintain the sewers. Like in Germany, we have so many laws where you have to protect your sewers and against corrosion, against getting it falling apart, because they have a wear and tear, and they should be prevented, so that to not to give away so much money and financially to have a stability. So we need to check the sewers and all the gases which is creating. So in summer, as you guys expected, like it stinks a lot, because the odor will be so high and it stinks in your houses or in your streets. So what we do mostly, like we use the chemical dosing, so every country, I mean, most of the person is like the basic treatment. So, but we want to know, like, is there any other methods, like thank you. 6 seconds.
Sí,
Hi,
algo. Sí, leyendo al aire.
Rick Sagers. Hello. Someone rose their hand. Hello, Rick Sagers. Can you hear us? Hmm. Okay. So, yeah, like I said, so we just want to know how it's going on. Are there any other different methods what the guys are using? So that's the basic thing in Germany. We use mostly dosing metal, and now because of the due to recent situations in the world, the chemical which we use for dosing, it became extremely costly. So it's like very hard to do the dosing and have a financially good process, and which is suitable for the customers or suitable for the government organizations. So yeah, so that's what we generally do. I mean, in my company or in German country. So yes, and I have a question to you guys. Does any country has a hole in the manholes? I mean, the holes in the top of the manhole cover, like in other countries. Anyone? Yes.
Do you hear me? It's finished in
Yes.
quite a few countries, the hole. Now you just have a little thin hook. You got a little hole, and you can lift the manhole without the hole. Well, I do know a lot of areas where it's not allowed to have a hole, especially you seal the manhole whenever you got security issues around the buildings against, terrorism.
Okay.
Yes, because
It all started, 20 years ago, whenever American president would come, or you had a NATO organization, you had to seal the manhole. And now in quite a few countries, from Romania to Trinidad to France, you've got sealed manhole in risky areas.
That's an interesting aspect. I've never thought about that.
And then you have countries like Paris where you walk in the sewage in the most areas because you got the water pipes, you got the telecom pipes, and you got all that. So there is no manhole. Well, limited manhole only in the side street. But the security aspect is becoming fundamental.
Yeah, like here are some photos that I found it in Germany. You can see all these manholes are with some ventilation holes.
Yeah.
Nearly everywhere here. And from where I come from Wuhan. I think maybe now everybody knows. And in my city, I have never seen such a manhole cover with the ventilation hose. And I once talked with the drainage system operators in the city, and he told me that, of course, we still have the problem with the odors in the sewer and sometimes also the high air pressure inside of the sewer systems. And our solution is that for maybe every month, we need to manually open some manholes to let this pressure or the odors out. And of course, it's normally happened in the night when nobody's on the street, so it won't really disturb anybody. But yeah, it's an interesting topic because it's always in the sewer you have the corrosion or you have the odors, and you need to deal with both of them. With the ventilation hose, maybe you make one problem not severe. No, well, maybe you release one problem, but the other problem will get a little severe. So it's a question about which problem is more important to us and what we should do to somehow can deal with both of them.
I mean, if you ask me, I was recently, I never noticed that you can have manhole holes once upon a time. So, I mean, even in my country where I come from, there is no manhole holes. We just close it completely so that the odor doesn't come out and give unpleasant experience to the people on the streets. So what we do is we use this huge flush with the air and sometimes with water. We just clean the manholes completely, like once in a few weeks or sometimes in a month, and then we flush the whole thing to the from all the sewers, from all the pressure pipes directly to the so that it doesn't stay long. So that they can avoid having this manhole holes and they can have some aeration. Like they open the holes like Siggy said, they also open it like once at the night when no one is awake, and that's like the other process which I only know. But like I said, it's a different country, so it's different climatic conditions because it's very hot there, and some countries in Africa and maybe some in South America, they are like very warm temperatures. And we came to know that in some places in Morocco or something last wastewater talk, they don't have any manhole covers, and the sewer structures are slowly eradicating and corroding inside, and it's like they are not allowed to have any person or any kind of, it's suppose like a small food stalls or something outside near to the manholes, because even though they fully cover it, but you can still get the odor. Like the H2S, like we know it's having a huge impact on this, and then so it's like sometimes very dangerous. It's like, so in some countries they don't even allow you to go to that place near to the street at some point because it's harmful for your health. So I mean, yeah.
I also know a few places, I won't name, where the level of H2S is so high, so you don't smell it anymore. If you had a hole, it would be dangerous for people. And that's very, very dangerous, because when you don't smell and you get to the level of 100 ppm and more, it's not good for people.
Why you can't smell that anymore?
The H2S has you have a threshold above it doesn't smell.
Okay.
And then we know that it's very dangerous. If you even can't smell it, you can't detect it, but it's there and it's in high amounts, and then you started to have your effects on your health actually.
In
So
every
many doesn't
country,
notice it.
I know water treatment plant where H2S level goes to 140, 160, and people need to go with mask.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought the H2S, when it gets higher, then the odor, the smell will get stronger, so you will notice it more. It's not like that.
No.
No. I mean, when you smell it, it's like you can say like it's okay. There is an H2S, but it's like in the level where you can measure
Now
that.
I understand it. Yes, there's
So
a
that's the
threshold
reason why
for the
we use
notice of our.
SULFIDE. Yeah.
Yeah, now
If
I
it's
get it.
500 ppm and the odor gets stronger and stronger, and I think after a few seconds you will have a severe headache or nausea, or you just fall down on the place. But if that's the case, if you're thinking about, I mean, H2S is not the only main thing. I mean, it's like the thing which everybody knows, which forms odor in the sewers. But we also have some new gases which there are like studies going on, like methane gas and everything, gases which is forming in the sewers these days. So yeah, I mean, methane is also explosive and very dangerous, but most people doesn't have high knowledge about that in the sewers. I mean, we in our company having this research about this, and then we are finding out many things, which I was even surprised to know that it's harmful than H2S actually. So yeah, I mean, they are like different gases, which I want to say, very dangerous than H2S.
Yeah, I realized we kind of already started the main topic of this episode. Yeah. Well, I haven't really introduced this our program to our new participants, so I just take a short 2 minutes to introduce it a little. Yeah, so this wastewater talk, we do it every month, one time, and we take a new topic for discussion. Yeah, and from the April, we started to provide in 2 alternative meeting times, one in the morning at 10 o'clock Central European time, and the other one is in an afternoon at 15 o'clock. So our goal of this program is that we want to exchange knowledge in the wastewater field and get to know this all experts around the world and share our passion about the wastewater technology, wastewater treatment, wastewater management with you. And yeah, most important, get to know you and build up these connections with the world. And here I put a link to the Wastewater Talk website where we put all our plans for the next episodes, the recordings from last episodes, as well as the presentation materials. Some are from us, some are from also our guest speakers. We will find it interesting, and later I will make this presentation also public to everybody so that you can check it if you are interested to know more about this program. Yeah, so here's episode's overview, and yes, that's what we have today. How is odor formed in our sewers? And these are some topics that we have covered in our last episodes. So yeah, feel free to check it out on our website. And if you have any comments or question or some interesting stories that you have regarding to these former topics, you can feel free to contact us, and we would be happy to talk more or get deeper into these topics with you, or even we can start a new episode with with the guest speakers. And a short introduction.
I prepared a little bit, Siki. I prepared a little bit about our topic today.
Mm-hmm. You want to share your
maybe
screen?
I can go in and say a little bit to our topic for today.
Of course.
Actually, we said we wanted to talk about how is odors created in sewers. That's the topic for today.
Yes.
And you see a blank screen now.
Yeah.
Hopefully, all of you.
It's a notepad. Yeah. It's a paint document.
The paint pad. And I wanted to ask wanted to have a little bit interactive discussion with you guys, and wanted to ask you guys, where is odors created? Is odors created at the moment in sewers? If you are talking about odors, who can tell me where do you think odors are created in sewers? Maybe you want to write it in the chat, or you want to say something, and then we can discuss about it. And I will, in this blank sheet, I will make a drawing then, and we can discuss it a little bit. If I'm here next to it, you can just go about and say, okay, we have, for example, come on, back. We have a pumping station, for example. Take a brush.
Patrick raised his hand. Maybe you want to say something?
Well, Klaus, you were talking pumping station. So one of the key things where I've had issues was after the lift station, it's under pressure. When it gets to the open, you've got the H2S, right? That's one thing. Then you have, that's the main topic, and it's corrosive. Then you have other countries where what gets in the sewer is generating a smell. And that's what Rag was talking, the methane and all that. So you have to analyze depending on which countries. Then it depends if you've got sewer and rainwater different, or if it's together. And that
separated or combined.
Yes, separate pipes or unitary pipes. That's another issue. So it's more complicated topic than it seems like. It smells, yes, but it is something you can see. And I've seen experience where when there is a smell, it means that you can start treating the sewer in the pipe as it goes down by gravity to the wastewater treatment plant. And that's what we're trying to do things with that, because it reduced the load at the wastewater treatment plant. So the smell can be a trigger for us on where to do a trial.
Okay, so basically you say, okay, we have a pumping station with a pump here, for example, right? And then we have a pressure pipe going out like this.
Yeah,
I'm just drawing. Just don't look a little bit on the design, yeah. And then we have some kind of high point here, and then we have gravity, right? Then goes like this, right? And then we have like maybe a street on the top of the gravity pipe, and then we have our manholes, right, on the gravity collector like this, right?
correct.
And also, you say here is maybe like a factory. I'm hoping, wait a second, that's not good. Maybe like a factory. My drawing is not that perfect, but that should be a factory,
it's okay, you're not an artist, Klaus, it's fine.
Okay, and the factory puts in wastewater into the pumping station. And there can be smell, for example, this water can smell, and the pumping station itself can smell, right? And also with the pressure pipe, you mean like here, right?
Yep.
Like from the manholes. Okay. So, and where is now? That's where the smell is. So, where is it created? How does it work? Do you know? Does somebody have a clue how this gets created? I mean, if you put in already stinking water, then yeah, that's like a process, a chemical process in the industry. But in the most odor problems come from the sewer system itself. So basically, does anybody know how, for example, H2S? We already heard this. How this is created in the sewers? Does anybody have an idea here? He wants to share, maybe. That's the goal for today, to together find out how it works, to make a concept and a drawing here, and then afterwards you all can print it out and hang it onto your wall and forever know how it works.
Well, I like your optimism, Klaus, because
Yes.
I've been at it for quite a few years now. But like it's seaweed near the sewer, and sargassum, or we had a food factory generating, dumping twice a day, and boom. So H2SO4 is formed, and then when it's released to the air, it's H2S. But
Right. For example, I just explain a little bit how I do it, right? For not so perfect engineers who are not work with it every day. For example, you have like a pump that works like 10 times a day. It pumps from the low water level, from the high water level to the low water level, and all of this water gets into the pipe, right? It's in the pipe here, then somehow there, and there's the water. So where in the pipe is the H2S, the H2SO4, like you said, where is that created? Does anybody know? Okay, then maybe I can discuss a little bit. So it can either be here in the pumping station, or it can be here in the pressure pipe. What do you think? Where is more H2S being created? Maybe somebody else also in the round, then not Patrice only. I think you didn't expect that you have to work together in this meeting a little bit.
Then, I mean, next time we have to write to the people in the description, like, do your homework.
Okay, I always do it like a looking glass, right? And then like a enhancement glass, like this, a little bit. And the most of the H2S is created actually in the pressure pipe, because you have a lot of surface in this long pipe with a low water in it. And when you make it like a what is it called? Like a bigger image of this small issue here, then you have in the pipe something like this. Sorry, it looks like a sperm, but it should be a bacteria. Yeah? It's our bacteria. And what do these bacteria need? Can anybody say, what does a bacteria need to work, to live?
Food and oxygen.
Food and oxygen, right? Food
Like
is
humans, yeah.
like humans, right? We also want to take sugars and other carbon-based stuff and take oxygen, and then we do oxidization, and we get CO2, right? So we have in the water, we have, for example, COD, right? This is our measurement for carbon. Yeah, this is this issue here, carbon. And then we have O2 in the water. That's our oxygen. So it says C plus O2 equals CO2. Is there already odors? No, right?
No, I mean, it needs oxygen to start the odor.
Right. So, but we all know there's not a lot of oxygen inside of wastewater. So what happens to the bacteria when the oxygen is gone?
It becomes in the anaerobic.
Right.
Bacteria.
The bacteria want to live. On the treatment plant, you also have it. It's different bacteria, but for our sake, let's be the same bacteria, and they want to live. So they need oxygen. So where can they get it from? In the treatment plant, you always have NO3, right? That's the nitrates. After the aeration, you have nitrates. NH4 gets to nitrates, and nitrates have this wonderful O here. Yeah, this wonderful O. That's what the bacteria need. So the new reaction would be on the treatment plants the same, basically. I mean, it's more complex, but it's the same. What happens? C plus NO3 equals CO2 plus N2, right? Also, no odors. We have a lot of gas. That's also the reason, actually, why we have air inside pressure pipes sometimes. We have this gas coming from the bacteria, right? So, but there's no odor. N2 is no odor creation. But then we already know in sewage we don't have NO3, right? That's what would happen if we don't aerate enough our wastewater on the treatment plant. Then the bacteria don't like these NO3. Then they have what? SO4, sulfates. Again, there's a very good O here, and the bacteria like this O and take it, and then they have again C plus SO4 equals CO2 plus what? That's the issue here. We have S2 minus. That's sulfide, not sulfates, but sulfide. And this is actually our problem, what we have, right? This thing here. Because depending on the pH value, this S2 minus can create H2S. The more sour the wastewater is, meaning the more hydrogen is inside the water, right? The more H2S can be created. So basically, if you have very sour wastewater, everything from this H2S gets air-based and gets out. Now in the wastewater, we only have like 7 to 8 pH. So that means all this S2 minus is like the carbon acid in the sparkling water. That's exactly the comparison you can make. So basically, this is you give still water inside your pump. Then it gets to medium water and then to classic water, very high carbon acid in it. And then you pour it into your glass, right? And then it flows through the sewer, and little by little, it gets out a little bit H2S here, a little bit here, a little bit here, until you have like 1 kilometer and everything has evaporated as H2S, right? Very interesting with this is that not the first manhole in the all process is the most H2S manhole, but the third, sixth manhole have the highest H2S concentrations. That's the reason for this is that you have a high flow velocity here in this area, and in this area the velocity is lower, so there can be more H2S gassing out from the wastewater. No, I hope that was a little bit for people who don't work with this every day. That's the explanation that I use for 10 years now, and yeah, most of the time it makes it a little clearer. Now you can pose questions maybe and make a picture and hang it to your wall. Patrice, what is your opinion? You think that it's good explanation?
Oh, it's excellent. And
Yeah?
really, it's, you know, it summarizes everything. No problem.
So what is your background?
Who? Me?
Yeah, you. You
Well,
seem to know your way around very good.
I'm a French engineer. I'm an American engineer. I worked in the States. I worked in France. I worked in England. I worked all over Europe. So, you know, at the beginning of privatization of BVB, Berliner Wasserbetriebe, I was involved with the Veolia side. And so I've been around. And I'm basically hydraulic engineer. And, you know, from Europe and from the States.
Ah, okay. So very good that you are joining our wastewater talk a little bit.
I have a question for Patrice. Can you hear me?
Yeah, very well.
So you said you worked in French and American. So what is the most difference, like the biggest difference which you found between the French sewer system and the American sewer system?
That's my computer. Sorry, I've got to make sure it doesn't stop. The you know what? The key thing for me. Okay, give me a second. The key thing for me is the way to work. So I will start by the end. In Germany, in Holland, in France, we got equipment a certain size. In the States, it's way bigger. And, you know, they've got bigger issues and they use codes. And it's a slightly different approach because everything is normed. In Germany, you have codes, but you can always argue that you'd want to use this or that. And the engineers are more important. There is more flexibility in Europe than there is in the States. But working with an American firm in Europe was always challenging because, well, Klaus, you would know, in Situform in Germany, Peroslev in Denmark, we would argue and we would do things differently. And then the Dutch would say, I'm not doing it the German way, you know, but so we were always confronting our ideas.
Okay.
It's like a small war on ideas. It's like a small war on ideas, kind of.
Mm. So anybody else in our discussion round, do you have questions about this design you see?
I think Mohammed Salam raised his hand.
Yeah, come on.
Hello, Mohammed. Please, you can just start talking. Hello, can you hear
I
us?
can join the discussion whenever you want.
Mohammed Salam? Hello? I think he can't hear us. Okay.
Okay, that's basically what I prepared for today. If we want to go deeper into this, Ziki has maybe some slides for the presentation left. I don't know.
Yes. When I want to get into this topic, I prepare something like the problem we have in Germany or what bring our company into this topic. Yeah, maybe I just give a short introduction. Like, so here's a graph showing the development of the water consumption per capita in Germany from 1990 to 2011. And as you can see, it has been dropping for the last 20 years. And so the less water consumption means there's also less wastewater generation, but the sewer system has been built there since long ago. And they were built in such a size that it is suitable for the consumption and the generation of the wastewater in the past, but is no longer suitable for now. So we still have this big size of the sewer systems, but much less wastewater flowing inside, which means they will stay inside for much longer time than in the past. And this longer retention time in the pipe system will create the odor problems. That's also how our company get established to dealing with this company in the Eastern Germany in the past. So as you can see here, we have this ventilation hose in the on the manhole covers, and yeah, with the decreasing water consumption and wastewater generation, there's longer retention time in the sewer systems, and that leads to the formation of the malador, such as the H2S, which is maybe the most important part of all these maladors. And with this ventilation hose, we bring the problem which was in a sewer, which is underground and nobody noticed before, now above the ground. All the maladors will emit from the sewer systems into the cities, and then we got the complaints from our citizens that they smell this unpleasant odors, and then they complain to the government, say, now you need to do something. Yes, so yeah, here's also a graph showing the theory of how this sulfur conversion in our sewers. So yeah, here's the water level, and at the bottom you can see some like maybe the sludge that has been inside of our pipes for a long time, staying there. And above the wastewater, there's also part of the air which is not filled totally. So we, as Klaus has explained before, that we have the sulfur inside of our sewer systems, and they will have the conversion to the sulfuric acid and to the sulfate and also to the sulfide at the end. And during this process, they will corrode our concrete part of our sewer systems and also generate the odors, which the H2S, and with the and they flow with the wastewater and come into our gravity pipes and finally emit out from our ventilation hose. Yeah, that's kind of the slides I prepared just to get an introduction into this topic and also explain the problems we have here.
I had a couple little things from what you said. It depends on the season also for you, because bacteria work better as soon as you're above 15 Celsius or 20 Celsius. Now, we've got a problem when you reach 26, 30 degrees Celsius, like in the island. So the choice of bacteria depends on the season in Europe. Also, there is another issue you talked about, anaerobic or versus aerobic bacteria. We are now trying to promote bacteria which works in both cases. So we can be from the lift station in anaerobic, and then when it's released, it's aerobic, because if you buy them in some areas, it's a lot cheaper than others. And Africa is a place where they are really developing bacteria at the fast time, but we got to be careful with the bacteria and the temperature.
Yes, yeah, you're right. The temperature is always a very important factor during this process, of course. And also we can imagine that, say, in the summer, there will be more this kind of odor problems than in the winter, and in the tropic region, this problem will also be severe as in the say Nordic area. Do we have any other questions from the group?
Rick Sagers, you have some questions? You raised your hand?
Yes, this is adding on to what Patrice was saying. Because if you do your bacteria in your lifting station and then you go into a pressure pipe, don't you risk killing the bacteria if the pressure is too high?
No. What
Because
we
that's
do-
one of the
we
one of the things that we were in discussion.
what it
I'm
is.
doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
But we put bacteria in a 3 or 5 kilos block right when it overtops. So we don't put them in the bottom of the lift station. They should not be submerged. So there is a small release all the time. As you say, the bacteria needs food and oxygen, so they need air, but they need the sewage, and they will develop. If you have the right bacteria, you will just enhance the natural bacteria of the pipe in the pipe, so they will develop naturally. So you need to have the right combination, and you cannot just buy bacteria from the shelf.
No, I know. I'm. Let's say we've done some pilot projects in Belgium with a mix of bacteria that we have. And this is, you can call it open sewers. Let's say in Belgium, there's 400,000 houses that are not connected to the sewer system. So we treat the septic tanks, which go into the ditches and stuff. And within a short amount of time, we have cleared the ditches and we reduce the smell. Similar thing could be thought of for the problem is we don't have a block. We need to dose.
All right.
And when we were discussing the pressure pipes, then of course we get into trouble because at a certain pressure they don't like it.
Give me a message afterwards, and we can talk, and I'll put you in the right direction. It's real cheap on top of it, It's
Okay.
I've got now 2 years experience in St. Martin, where the temperature of the sewage is 28 to 30 degrees permanently, and the pressure is fairly high because one of the pipe we've been dealing with, it's 4.5 kilometers under pressure.
Yeah.
So it's non-negligible, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the sewers depend upon the country and they are different elevation as well. So it's like depending on many factors, and then every location is different, in my opinion. So Mr. Rick Seegers, sorry if I say it wrong, can
Rick is
you
okay.
introduce yourself? I mean, just to the group, like where you're from and what you're working and.
Okay,
something
I'm
like that,
originally from Belgium, but I live in Switzerland since 2007. With two partners, we're doing we're distributing a microbial enzymatic solution that is in an accelerated way growing bacteria in either wastewater treatment systems or we do also soil remediation. So any oil polluted soils, we will treat, and within 4 to 6, 8 weeks, we will go from whatever high levels of pollution down to the below the limits that are allowed. And that's what we're doing. So typically, what we've done so far is a number of wastewater treatment plants increase the efficiency in a short amount of time, or we worked with septic tanks where we improved the working of the septic tanks, that it was back to normal, and we reduced the stink in the ditches that were around these houses.
Excuse me, what is your name so I contact you afterwards?
Rick, I think, let me see. Are you? I'm on the list of the attendants. Rick Seegers. Yes.
Okay, I'm Patrice, so I'll find you somewhere, somehow.
And we are happy that we found you both.
Yes.
And we'll keep you in the loop.
Well, if you guys see a possibility of testing both products in Germany from Patrice and from us, and do some pilot projects, we're always open for discussion.
Sure. That's actually the one of the reasons. I mean, to find the professionals and then to discuss the solutions. Like to have a platform where you can share your ideas and share your opinions. I mean, I think the wastewater, the topic is like it's so huge, and some are having a huge knowledge about it, and some are having no knowledge about it. So it's like to bring a balance, like to
the topic is sharing is caring, right?
yep,
We want to get a
sharing
better
the
world.
knowledge. Yeah. You're right, absolutely. That's the motto.
EU has been giving grants for studies. And so it's interesting. University in Denmark got money on it, and so we're trying to follow the thing.
We've been trying to apply as well, and then it goes yes, you get a thumbs up until the last round, and I think, oh well, you don't get it anyway. So
Connection.
Yes.
Yeah, so maybe after this episode, I will contact Patrice, and also Rick. Maybe we can have an episode discussing of your technologies, and yeah, I think that would be a really interesting topics to our Wastewater Talk participants.
We can.
Okay. Danke sehr schön.
So yeah, if we don't get any more questions from our group, I would say thank you very much to our all participants today. That we had a really nice discussion with, and also very nice to know Patrice, Rick, and all the other participants. Yeah, and thank you very much for joining us. And I hope you all enjoyed this wastewater talk. And yeah, we will leave. We will send you a follow-up email afterwards with the our website link and also the presentation material. Just make everything public to everybody, and yes, and we hope we can stay in contact.
And maybe
just for everybody, I put the drawing inside the chat for you all to print it out and hang it on the wall.
Klaus, next time then open up the chat for everybody, because it looks like only team members have, because I don't have access.
I don't know how that works. Then we have to send it around on the material.
Yeah, because the chat, for me, the chat is disabled.
Okay, thank you for telling us that. We didn't know that. I'll take a look of how to solve this problem so that from next time we can open it to everybody.
It usually works, actually. It usually works, but I don't know today. I mean, thanks so much for bringing it up.
Thank you for organizing. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Wait, the chat is not working?